Welcome to the Scene Weekly podcast, where we harken back to our college debate days and pick two movies of the same theme to somehow get to Hawaii, talk about the Aloha and Descendants movie, and Hawaiian drama. But come join Jonathan and Stephen for another week of hopefully less plot chatter and copious more film banter. We are Scene Weekly, and welcome to Hawaii.
And here we are, yet again in a light-headed Hawaii zone. Where are we?
We're on Oahu, my friend.
Do you know how many islands there are in this fair
There's
state?
about 8 islands that are named.
How'd you know that?
It's just, something that I'm good at, this trivia stuff.
Common knowledge of people that have actually lived in Hawaii previously. I did not know that. I thought there was, 4, 5, and I just thought that was it.
But how many actual islands are there?
130, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know the trivia on that. Can correct
are
you.
they like numbered? Are they like alphabetized, and then you go back to AA, AB, AC,
No,
AD?
I think they just named it after their Hawaiian respective names.
Oahu, is that a respective name?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the name of the island. I don't know what
we
it
have
means.
done many runs. How do you feel? How are your legs?
I feel a little wobbly, a little sore.
He was just saying a second ago that he is lightheaded.
Yeah.
There's a bottle of water, H2O. May or may not be consumed after this, during or otherwise. Maybe some sweat pouring down. It is 86 degrees, humid.
What are your initial thoughts on Hawaii? You've been here for almost a week now. I'd like to know.
Let's immediately get into not talking about these two movies, please and thank you. We went to Maui first for a wedding, and nice Carolyn was joining us on the podcast and following with Hashem, which has been fantastic.
Yeah.
We went to Rio and had our Brazilian podcast, which is fantastic. And as I said before, I can't believe it took me that long to actually get. We're looking at koi fish right now, by the way, and people walking around. We're in the Disney Resort of Hawaii.
There's a lazy river. Like, we'll give you like the little. Can they see this?
Yes, please do. Technical difficulties.
It's beautiful. It's paradise.
It's very gorgeous. And hopefully we can get ourselves in the picture again here. But it's been fantastic, honestly. Especially in the midst of February, hoping for spring, wishing for summer. We're finally here. We just went to a character breakfast. I don't know if you guys have any relationship to this, but nonetheless.
Favorite Disney characters. What are they? What do you got?
Max doesn't have a mother. Don't know the story there.
Looks like he skateboards. Like he's a skateboarder.
Yeah, but Max, who is Max? Max is anyway, we're getting off topic already, but
we don't want to talk about these movies, apparently.
Yeah. Well, here we are. We haven't gone surfing. I mean, the last time I think you went surfing was when?
It was 2012, 2011, Costa Rica.
2009?
Oh, I don't know.
2009. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to Costa Rica and had a surfing accident. That wasn't...
It would be more like an incident/accident.
Just clumsy.
Did you try to surf with your head?
No. I just fell off the board and the board came back at me.
Just the tip was really used as a different reference point, but just the tip of the board, you took literally.
Yeah, it gave me a... Do
you have a scar?
Probably, but
it's... Do you talk about it
shaved over
chicks?
There. No, this is not something that I bring up.
You should see the back of my head, girl.
No.
It's stiff as a board.
There's a lot of cartilage.
Yeah, so anyway, we're in our last full day here in Hawaii, and we've done dramatic movies with the Descendants and Aloha.
Yeah, dramatic in a weird way. I think one more so than the other. They both have drama elements, romance a little bit, cheating, the whole gamut.
What is the whole gamut, honestly?
It's the whole shebang. It's like it's the same
What
thing.
What other words can I use that are exactly identical to what I just said, but without providing you evidence and supporting of
I have a
my
smorgasbord of evidence for you.
So here we are again. But yeah, the Descendants and Aloha. We decided to, go with the comedy route with 50 First Dates. And previous to this, we enjoyed the movies. And to be honest with you, I don't know how we're going to get through this. But here we are in Hawaii in our last full day. I don't know who needs to go first because I just want to kill myself after watching both these movies. And I'm 12 floors up at the moment. So this is quite easy to do so.
I don't think the movies are
Are worth it?
are worth it. No,
Yeah. Maybe I could throw you off.
please don't. But yeah, I mean, I don't care. Like we could flip a coin and say,
Do you have a coin?
I don't have a coin. No,
I don't have a coin either. You can flip a beer. We have one beer left. But nonetheless, Hawaii has been generally fantastic. But why don't you talk about like your history with Hawaii, why you came here to begin with, and like what brings you back to some extent?
Yeah. So I remember as a kid, the notice of when we were moving to Hawaii. I was literally watching TV in New Hampshire, and it was
Yeah.
snowing outside.
Okay.
And I got news that we were moving to Hawaii because my dad, mom, were both in the Air Force, hence a big military presence here on Oahu. But yeah, I was super excited to go to Hawaii, and I got to stay here for about 3.5 years. Lived on the base, but went to school off base, and then also played soccer with the local kids. I was the haole, if you
Okay.
will. Yeah,
I don't know what that means. Can you explain?
the gringo,
Got it.
the foreigner, the white person.
Yeah.
That's called a
They
haole.
didn't believe that you were from here?
Emma Stone.
Did you try?
Emma Stone had some good points. I don't think I could pull it off. Maybe if I just keep repeating myself that I'm a quarter Hawaiian, but I'm not. To be clear.
I love that. It's really funny because I actually do have friends that are like a quarter Korean. And even with the Korean folks, they're like, I am a quarter Korean, trust me. And they're like, okay, yeah, like you, sure. Good job. Good effort. But I will say this. These are 2 movies, and we did have to watch them.
And they're set in Hawaii.
And they are set in Hawaii. And afterwards, I thought this was our Hawaiian drama set of movies. And I collectively for both thought it was just like more of comedy / horror, possibly. So I didn't know really where we sat or where we like fixated ourselves. But nonetheless, strangely enough, I had yet to see both of these movies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so where I antagonize you of choosing movies, I clearly have overlooked the fact that Hawaiian movies even exist to begin with. Like, to me, Tom Selleck is Hawaiian as ever. Emma Stone is, I guess. But nonetheless, why don't I go first?
Okay, I'd
I
love
don't
that.
know what to do.
Yeah, let's
here.
do The Descendants.
Yeah. So I ran 11 miles today. So if I fall over or if he passes out, then, that's our story. The Descendants, 115 minutes, directed by Alexander Payne. Who would have thought?
Big name. Big name for me.
Big name for me as well. And boy, 2011 PG-13, genre to be disclosed later. I don't know. 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know who these people are. $20 million budget with an $82 million box office. And
It's a pretty good box office for a drama set,
set in a state that
we're currently in.
I feel like this state could have pretty much some of the greatest and the potential for Aloha. I'm getting like already off track.
Right.
Here.
But
Like,
just the
potential
setting. Let's
for
talk
both
about the
of these
setting.
movies. Like you've got waves, wind, and surf, and trees,
Mountains,
and
volcanoes.
the history of
Yeah.
Hawaii, of the people. And yet, nobody has really capitalized. But native islander Matt King, who's played by George Clooney, lives with his family in Hawaii. Their world shatters when a tragic accident leaves his wife in a coma. Not so tragic. Not only does Matt struggle with the stipulation in his wife's will that she will be allowed to die with dignity, but he also faces pressure from relatives to sell their family's enormous land trust. Angry and terrified at the same time. I would be, I think, as well. Matt tries to be a good father to his young daughters. Does he really, though? I don't know, because he's just like
pretty checked out.
Like he's done. I'm like off with life. You can eat my ice cream, even though I'm just licked it like a dog. As they try to cope with their mother's possible death.
Pretty somber. Like I'm curious on the elevator pitch of this movie.
I will say this: Alexander Payne, sign me up. The story of going for George Clooney, having to fight back with his wife and the family, selling the land. Clearly, he's from there. Doesn't appear to be.
He's a land Hawaiian.
Both of these movies are that. Yes.
Yeah.
I will say, I just don't know really what to say other than the fact that none of this is believable or enjoyable. And I know that you have a heartstring that ties to Alexander Payne, as do I. But like, this is one of those moments in both of these movies collectively that I just thought during, I wish I was doing something else. At many,
So complete waste of time.
At many moments. Yeah, a complete waste of time. And now I'm just going to be shitting on these two movies for the next 30 minutes, basically.
I mean, let's talk about like just some of the things. Shot beautifully because you have a beautiful setting.
Is it?
You got a great cast with George Clooney. Like this is like one of his last like headliner roles. He's just making tequila now.
Look, he had the opportunity, and I don't think it's necessarily in both these movies. I can collectively say affirmatively, and more so, I would say with the Aloha than the Descendants. Honestly, the opportunity was ripe for the taking. This was an emotional setup. The wife's in a coma. You learn soon after that she was cheating on her husband, and seemingly so, everyone is more affected than the father, who's having to deal with basically his wife like dying.
It's an interesting setup, and it gets even deeper when you find out that the person that she was cheating with would be the one that makes a lot of money in this deal for the land in Hawaii that Matt King owns, and that kind of gets to the pivotal ending of that. But I just love the setup to this movie and the hunting down of the cheating father
The hunting
with
down.
the daughter.
I mean, it's kind of like a Scooby-Doo case.
It's a Scooby-Doo case, yeah, but it just done really well.
No, but I mean, he wasn't in Scooby-Doo?
Oh, you're right. Yes.
Just wanted to point that out because I felt like that was overlooked in my joke that just didn't go over so well, which is basically the set of these two movies. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, George Clooney is a fantastic actor, but he maybe didn't have the right script, or maybe it was directed by Mr. Payne, not too great. I just thought like the last scene, for example, was like the quintessential like upbringing of this entire movie.
Did you want him to sign?
I don't care
Make
about
$1 billion?
I don't care about the signing. That's pretty cool. But like he's sitting with his two daughters and staring at a movie, and they're eating ice cream, sharing ice cream, which is disgusting. Like, and nothing happens. And it appears that nothing actually is happening. It's
life, man.
No, it
it's
appears
life.
that nothing actually is happening. If my mom died, you had to pull the plug and she was cheating, I feel like there would be a little more emotionality. And I feel like, to be fair, he deserved it.
He's checked out as a father, as a dad.
Yeah. Like, he deserved, like, maybe now he can actually be a responsible father and actually raise his two children a little more kindly than before. But yeah, he did make a good decision, I would say, by keeping it. The land, that is.
The land. Family. Yeah. I mean, it's a tough, like, there's some tough scenes in there when you have to, like, tell your kids about what's going on with your mom.
It's so funny that you can, like, just check out my notes, but I can't see yours. My question to you, do you sleep with your mouth open? Because I know the answer to this. And I know that in the movie, like George was sleeping with his mouth open, and other people were as well. But like, what are your thoughts on people sleeping?
Buy some mouth tape. There's a great brand that I've sent you that I use.
Not for me, for my wife.
Well, that I use quite frequently.
Not on this trip.
Yeah, forgot to bring it. That's on me. But I am a big fan of mouth tape. Helps breathe through the nostrils.
I mean, do you pull the plug quicker that she cheated on you?
I think so.
Yeah, I'd pull it in a second. Yeah, she's gone. The doctor's like, she's gone, and then like,
there's nothing we can do.
Let's get past this, you dirty, rotten bitch.
Do people really need to say their goodbyes while she's in coma?
No, but it appears that people do, such as the cheatie's wife.
Wow, that was a scene.
Why did you think that she needed to come to say goodbye?
We got that actress
also,
again.
Yeah.
From 27 Dresses.
From Arrested Development, let's be clear.
Yeah.
But like, takes off her glasses and looks sideways. I laughed hysterically, which is the reason I was like, this is not a drama, it's more of a comedy. Unintentionally so. But she rolls up and was like, I just need to say a few words, and said a lot. And
said a lot.
When do you cut that off? Do you cut that off, or you just let her like be? Because like nobody's waking up from this.
I think she had to vent a little bit, and with the husband in the room, and just basically saying, "I forgive you for being a cheating bitch to my family." And I just it's an incredible scene, and George Clooney had to
Incredible is
cut
an
her off.
overstatement. But George Clooney was like, whatever, like I'm past this, don't even care, which is probably the reason that she cheated to begin with, because he just doesn't give a fuck about life and still doesn't. But an interesting one, to say the least. I I think the ending to me is just one of the worst endings I've ever seen.
Oh, just them on the couch. You're
Just
still
them on the couch,
hung up
and I
on
can't
that.
get past it. And it
Okay.
was just such a terrible moment of
How do you end
maybe
a movie like this?
maybe
though?
there can be a closure moment, and like he shows emotion, or even the children. Like I actually was like feeling, in the movie Incendies, which you
Yeah.
recommended for you.
hmm
I thought there would be like a pool moment. I actually really enjoy those moments where you're underwater and you're screaming. Like oftentimes, like for example, yesterday when I went underwater in the beach outside, and it's like cold coming from a hot tub, and I just scream underwater
Yeah.
to get a little warm. And that's what she did when she was realizing her mother basically is like dead. Like
Yeah.
we have to pull the plug. And I again found it hilarious that when she was getting out, she's like, "Why did you have to tell me in the pool?" When the father was telling the daughter that the mom that this is it. But I think that's actually probably the best moment to be told that your mom is dying. Like in the pool, where like you can kind of just chill and like go underwater and just be one with
Everything.
being underwater. Honestly, is like the greatest anxiety preventers preventers of all time. So anyway, the movie, I just felt like it should have descended to hell, and it did for me. And I just didn't I didn't get, there was no true Hawaiian culture. It was just
Oh
filled with white
no,
people, and
it's
like just that's okay, but I didn't really understand. It could have been so much more, honestly.
yeah. I get what you're saying, and I think that it being set in Hawaii and not really having any kind of authenticity of like Hawaiian culture, it's just a bunch of descendants of somebody that own a bunch of land. But I will say, like, even though Matt King's character George Clooney didn't really have like a screaming under the water moment, I think his moment was like saying "f you" to Scooby Doo guy
Sure.
and not signing the document, and he's giving up billions of dollars, and he's a workaholic.
Sure.
That's his moment.
Is that really worth it though? Take the money and be like, okay, like at least you got some. I don't know. It's just, your wife is dead. You had a miserable marriage to begin with. You're still unhappy, and you got some cash money on the side. But that to me is just, now you have no cash money on the side, and what else you have?
You got the ice cream.
You got people picking their noses, and two at once, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, I don't know what to say other than I thought it was
Did you feel anything from this movie?
no, not even a single iota of feeling.
Even like when he went over to the house to confront the other dad, like, let me walk through your house. Let me check it
No,
out.
he still felt like a little bitch, just like walking. I'm gonna walk through. He's like not a man. But I mean, to be honest, like maybe the character did better than I thought. Maybe this is an after sun moment where I just have to go back and watch it 17 more times and see if it actually has a
Maybe.
rub on me. But
I doubt you'll do that.
I wanted to throw myself off a 12-story building, and I couldn't find one when I was watching it at the time because I was in New York.
How many stories would be for Aloha? Like
Ooh,
even
boy.
higher or lower?
So the Descendants, I don't know what's worse or what's better. Descendants was probably better, but Aloha, I also just truly thought was probably worse, only in the sense that it had so much more potential because it had the firepower of like Pearl Harbor, basically.
Yeah.
You know, Pearl Harbor. This is a euphemism. Yeah,
I get
the
you.
reference.
Yeah,
which is like right down the street from here. You had so many actors that have been either won an Oscar nomination or been have just crushed in every way, shape, or form in life, and they've put together a movie that is dog shit. Like
Yeah.
one of the worst watches on this podcast.
Do we get into it now?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we got 40 minutes and I just want to kill myself.
All right. Again, I'm going to have to turn my computer and make a little bit of a adjustment here, but it's Aloha.
Hi.
Bye. 2015 film. I will give you the tagline if you'd like to hear it.
I would love
This movie does have a great tagline.
to hear a tagline.
Aloha. Sometimes you have to say goodbye before you can say hello.
That's, when a tagline actually matches the energy of a movie. It's perfect.
It's
and
perfect.
This is it.
Okay.
Yep. Tagline sucks. So does the movie.
There you have it. Like we were just saying a minute or so ago, this movie, like if you were told like, hey, this is the cast that we got for this movie, it's going to be set in Hawaii. We got Bradley Cooper. He's going to be the main. We got Emma Stone.
I'm in twice. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What about let's throw in Rachel McAdams.
Great. Oh, so we're like recreating like the
The
energy
love
of
triangle?
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. John Krasinski.
Wow. Okay. So like directly from The Office. Oh wow.
Yeah.
We have really
He's peaking right now.
Yeah.
Danny McBride.
So we got like the humor and the drama on both. Oh my.
We got it all.
Who else we have?
Oh, did I say Alec Baldwin?
No, you didn't. But
Yeah.
wow, I can't believe that there is another character that just is outstanding.
Oh, the last one.
Getting Glenn Ross here. I mean, come on, the last one.
We got Bill Murray coming
that
in.
guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's done pretty well for himself.
All-star cast.
In a mute, John Krasinski.
Yeah, he.
What are your thoughts on that?
We're gonna get into that.
No, let's get into it.
Okay.
Actually, go through the synopsis.
I should go through. Yeah, for the people listening, they need to know what this movie is about. It's about a lot, to be honest. And I'm gonna have to kind of read down here.
Makes me want to smoke an e-cig.
Brian Gilchrist, a washed-up military contractor with a bad back and worse life choices, lands in Hawaii for a sketchy defense deal. His handler, the impossibly earnest Captain Ng, actually believes in things, which exhausts him. To make things worse, his ex, Tracy, is there, married, but still looking at him like an unfinished novel. Between existential dread, Hawaiian myths, and a billionaire with a weaponized satellite, Brian is forced into something he's spent years avoiding, doing the right thing. He sabotages the launch, blows up his career again, and walks away slightly less of a disaster.
I was trying to jump over the ledge.
Oh,
sorry.
wow.
I mean, it seems like a good premise. It seems like it would be great, but your first watch, right?
First watch on this film.
Do you think you're ever going to watch this movie again? Like, if you actually had like a significant other and be like, "Hey, aloha, you lived in Hawaii. Like, what do you want to do? You want to watch a Hawaiian movie?" And then what happens? What do you say?
This is not a Netflix and chill kind of movie. This is not something I would put on.
This is more like a Netflix and pill to kill yourself.
Oh, God.
Where's the cyanide? Because I need double.
This movie is not good. It's
There's no other way to say it.
It's directed by Cameron Crowe. Like, Almost Famous. I mean, he's got tons of great movies. I mean, this is the last movie he's made since. No wonder why.
Really?
Yeah, he hasn't made a movie since this. I don't
14
think.
years? Wow.
Maybe he's, I don't know.
Almost Famous is quite literally, I can name at least 3 people right now that is their favorite movie.
Oh, yeah.
And quintessentially, it's unbelievably good. How could you make that? What happens like when you actually pitch an idea and you are able to land everyone and then just completely screw the pooch?
This is like
to go back to the last film. I mean, I guess that would make more sense with Scooby-Doo, but like completely screwing the pooch.
Yeah, it takes a lot of effort to make a film with this great of a cast and seemingly a great director this bad.
Emma Stone is an unbelievable actress, but her character is.
What did they tell her? What were the directing choices?
Bill Murray, also unbelievable. Like maybe Bradley Cooper was like the shining light of actually being able to act, but like Emma. No, I don't think it's any actor's fault, honestly.
No, it's the script.
It's the script. Yeah, the script. My one line is like a hungry cat wading out of a seafood restaurant dumpster, and it's like, what this is what you came up with, the cheesiest fucking line I could possibly come up with.
Yeah, Bradley Cooper.
How'd they sign on? What are your facts here? Do you have any facts?
Yeah, I have a few facts. I do know that Bill Murray pretty much was super chill on set and just improvised most of his lines. He was like, "This is just a paycheck."
Did they all think it's just a paycheck?
Maybe, yeah.
This would make sense. I mean, what's the budget again?
$26 million.
They got
it was like 38 million.
They got all of that for 38 million in Hawaii. Yeah. I mean, well done.
Yeah. So one thing that was kind of funny about this, when this movie was coming out, do you remember the Sony hack?
No,
you don't remember that?
The Sony hack,
like that. The Koreans, North Koreans hacked Sony, and they stole a bunch of emails and data and everything like that. So there was an email that they stole about this movie. Basically, Aloha was part of the famous email hacks where Sony Pictures chairperson Amy Pascal criticized this film, calling it ridiculous and saying it made no sense.
I would say that they should have listened to her. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. No, it doesn't make sense. What am I saying? There's a satellite that goes into space, and he says, I can't believe I'm actually saying this. A satellite goes into space that is of hundreds of millions of dollars, and he gets a second chance, Bradley Cooper's character with Bill Murray, and decides to put all of the sounds of Earth sent down for whatever it's worth to pretend to the Hawaiians that there's a spiritual blah, blah, blah in the sky. But what is happening?
It's bonkers.
Thinking
man.
It's just going to explode? Or like, what is he expecting that to do?
Well, first he saves the day because he gets the Chinese hack.
I just don't even want to talk about this. It's just so outrageous.
I know.
It's so, I can't believe that this movie exists. And the execution of it is just probably... I mean, what other movies can you think of that have the firepower? I can't think of a single other movie, honestly. Like the firepower of acting, ability, and what they have won elsewhere. And honestly, collectively, like Emma Stone, like Bill Murray, Bradley Cooper, you go through even John Krasinski, like on The Office or otherwise, like with George Clooney, for example. I mean, they've made other movies together. I've never seen a movie like this that I've been left with. I was speechless. What when the human beings, the tribe was like crossing the street, and I don't know, the seance or whatever. Yeah, and they're looking down, and nothing happens from that. Like I was thinking, like they're gonna knock on the window or something, and it was just like, oh, let's just keep driving.
There's no reference to it.
That was the entirety of the movie. Basically, nothing is happening.
Yeah,
the nothing is happening in the sense it's just the spiritualness. Anyway.
What did you think about the love interest, like Bradley Cooper coming back to Rachel McAdams and seeing John Krasinski, the mute John Krasinski?
His daughter?
Wait, I want you to say all these things like in the way they communicated. This is not good for a podcast.
And then I like the subtitles.
Yeah.
Eventually, like after the second iteration. And I was like, I can't believe this is happening. It's like, and then first of all, if he knows that the daughter he's been raising is not his own, and he's just like accepting of the situation, and also accepting the situation that he's now like in the house, and clearly she's still down DTF.
Yeah.
We got an issue, brother.
Yeah, there'd be a big issue.
So what's the issue? Like, why is John like, we're cool? What is happening? Like,
so silly.
Did somebody like skip a day of like script writing and like you know what would be really good?
We're gonna do body.
I got wasted and did a lot of ketamine last night, but you know what is gonna be perfect tomorrow? Shoulder hugs, gracefully. What? How do we do this?
It's pitiful. It is, and there's no like they probably thought it was like going to be funny and charming and like have the inside joke with the subtitles like near the end, and it just came off as dumb.
Yeah. So this is my main question. Do you think they actually pitched this I mean, I know the answer to this. To any audience, they screened it for any audience.
They've had to, yeah.
And they've been like, what are your thoughts? Because those people, I want to also throw off the ledge when I jump with them. Because this is the dumbest premise I've ever seen. It's a waste of. When you look back in like 40 years, when all these people like passed away, or 60 years, whatever it might be, like we're gonna look back at this time and think, okay, like that is a paycheck, but like a paycheck could be cool, like Rush Hour, where it's just like a comedy. You take a paycheck and you have this like cameo, and you're taking a paycheck. Not like a dramatic film it's set in Hawaii that actually has the potential to legitimately change the ideas that maybe people have and hold for each other. Like you literally are talking about the history of the island, and you're talking about the history of like the humanity here,
and like the rituals and the ghosts.
yeah,
and
it's meaningless.
No, they're trying to
focusing on a satellite.
They're focusing, and then the Hawaiians, they want just give us more mountains and give us Wi-Fi. That's all we want.
Which is kind of like everyone, right?
It's true, because when I was driving on the road to Maui, I had zero reception the entire time, and I could have used it.
You know what? It would have been really great if they actually were like, you know what? We're going to give you 4 mountains and all of the Wi-Fi, and then everyone's happy. Maybe the movie still sucks. I don't know.
I think Elon Musk is pretty much doing this now. He's putting up
Starlink
up in the
on
sky.
The traveling here on Hawaiian Airlines was absolutely fantastic. I will say this as a very big positive. Huge fan of Hall & Oates, but a very big positive. My big takeaway was Hall & Oates being played towards the end, and I was like, you know what? This is I don't want to say it's the movie got slightly incrementally better, and I was like, I can at least dance to some music now.
That's why Cameron Crowe puts in great soundtracks to his movies. That's what he does. This one's just a flop.
There's some good.
I will say another fun kind of quote or trivia about this. Did you know there was some other working titles for this film?
Oh, I would love to hear them. Oh my god!
All right, so before
Stick
Aloha,
me in a lazy river.
There was Deep Tiki.
That sounds like a porn.
It does.
Let me get that deep tiki.
And it doesn't say here, but I read something else that there was. It was going to be called Volcano Romance.
I don't know what to say. I mean, everything. Look, you know, the Hello Goodbye is probably the best representation of this. You know, this movie. If I take a step back, by 17,000 steps back, I would actually like to take 11 miles back, take my run back, and be very far away and never watch this movie again. But like with that being said, I felt like this was one of those like Hallmark commercials that
the schmaltz was high,
was made, and like this would actually be a very good Hallmark commercial where it's just like really boiled down, and like you have these characters, it's directed poorly. There's sentimentality, and it's punchy in a minute and a half.
I think,
and then end it. But like the script, there's if you basically if you were to like take a minute and a half story of a Hallmark commercial and peter it out for an hour and a half, you get this movie.
I think they didn't turn the dial to comedy up enough. Like they had Danny McBride, who could have been fantastic, and he was just wiggling his fingers. You had Alec Baldwin, who did have a pretty good like angry storm in the office kind of tirade. But if you just dial this humor just a little bit more to like a Mars Attacks, to something that's just a little bit kookier, I think you have a good film.
That's so good. Danny McBride was literally wiggling his fingers, and that's all he did.
That's it.
I don't know what else to say. It was like.
Do you agree though? Do you get like if you just put it up a little bit higher? Just the
if you were to, all right, let's take this to 11.
Okay, yeah.
If you were to actually write jokes that were extremely punchy and like Danny like Southbound and Down. If you were to actually do that type of comedy and let Danny McBride like open up. And not Bill Murray. I don't know what Bill Murray was clearly like catching a paycheck, but Danny McBride like be funny, and also like Bradley Cooper is fantastic. As is Emma Stone. They're all, and Krasinski. They're all fantastic.
Yes,
just let them rip. Like, here's the script, and then rush hour it. Like, feel free to ad lib whatever you so choose.
I want a remake. Same cast.
No.
Just a little tweak on the script and what we talked about. We'll give them our notes.
I don't even think you need a tweak on the script, honestly. I think you need to allow them to just be themselves. You need to have John Krasinski to be able to talk, though. Like,
yeah, he needs to.
This is ridiculous. The fact that there's subtitles and shoulder movements, like, all right,
peak cinema.
You know, like that feeling that you watch something and you're like the gut
angry.
Yeah. The gut of you is like, I can't believe this exists. Like, this is one of the worst things I've ever seen. Krasinski, has he talked about this after?
Oh, I don't know.
Because I wouldn't.
He'd be the same character. I would
never talk about this.
He'd just never talk.
Like, he'd have to stay in character because the choices made are choices.
And I will say, so Krasinski, his character, wrote a letter. And I wanted to say after the second sentence, there was no way this guy wrote that.
ChatGPT didn't exist at the time. But I
don't think because that was poetic.
Yeah.
If you really listen to it. The squeaky door and just...
He has one less chromosome. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I have nothing else to say.
Do you think that... The sky will be filled with nuclear satellites in the future?
They are, for sure.
Already?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I mean, satellites go up and down, and the fact that countries cannot be reviewing or analyzing compliance-wise if they have arms disguised in the sky.
Disguised in the sky.
I mean, it's a pretty actually... Like a new bond that actually has satellites being sent up into the sky would be pretty cool.
Just we're all screwed then.
Yeah, maybe like Jason Freddy goes up into the sky. That'd be a good one.
Battle on a big satellite.
Jason 11.
Satellite station.
I don't know, man. But we're here at Alani, and I can't wait to get into this lazy river, which is pretty epic, to be honest. If anyone knows how to get laundry made here, that'd be great too.
Yeah, this is gonna be a short episode. We're on island time, and you all know about island time, right? Just comes and goes when it pleases.
I don't. Can you tell me about island time?
Just comes and goes, man. Yeah, just whenever we feel like it.
We have an introduction that's before this.
That's true.
Maybe we'll have an outroduction.
Do you want to do some ratings?
I would love to do ratings.
Let's do ratings.
All right. So the Descendants, you got an 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. I am going to disagree very fulsomely with this. I can't think of both of these movies collectively have the firepower to do so much. And I think actually a lot of the scenes, not a lot, some of the scenes in The Descendants I could see being pretty excellent, especially with some of the music. But the script is just, it doesn't match my expectations. And I don't know anything else to do other than giving it 1.5 glasses.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think it was a horrendous movie. A horrible film.
Okay, I wouldn't go that far to say it's a horrible film. I think it's a very serviceable film.
That means horrible.
I think that a lot of the things that is supposed to do to move the audience didn't necessarily move me, but I see what they're trying to do. Maybe it's because I don't have a life experience.
I don't give glasses for that.
With somebody, yeah.
What other people might think. This is what I care about.
Okay, let me finish. Can I finish?
No, I'm so angry.
I'm a big sucker for AP, our boy Alexander Payne.
Don't do this.
You know, he's
Don't do this.
This is a movie after Sideways. Granted, it's not as good.
So you're saying Sideways. You're bringing in films that are irrelevant.
I enjoy his style.
It's like saying that you need to be able to differentiate between Star Wars 1 and 2 or episodes 4 and 5.
Oh, we could differentiate between those.
I'm just saying, like, you should be able to differentiate between them.
I can't. I'm not giving this anywhere near a 5 glasses rating. But
what do you got?
What I will say is I enjoyed this flick. Do I think it's like something that I would be like, hey, I want to show you this movie called The Descendants. Let's watch it.
Let's descend in the hell together.
But I want more movies like this. I want more movies that are like adult themed related and just a little bit more.
The premise is good. The acting abilities are great. The script is horrendous. The execution is terrible. What do you got?
It's 3.5 for me.
3.5?
Yeah. I like the movie. I enjoy it. That brings us down to a 2?
Well, I can do it too.
2.5?
2. So the next movie, Aloha, is
you were being very generous.
Me
with
being
your other...
very irate about this. I would give this a 0 glass movie, and I'm going to give it our first monocle because I think this is quintessentially where people go to die with movies. This is the potential to be something absolutely fucking fantastic. This has got 20% on Rotten Tomatoes?
No, like 18.
So collectively, critics are like overlooking everything to do with, like, for example, all the Alexander Payne. I know that we're talking about it. Yeah, like Cameron Crowe. It's got all these things, and they're still saying this is a shit movie. This is truly the worst movie. I would, no lie, without exaggeration, I would prefer to watch Friday the 13th Part 2
over this,
only because it was just like what you were saying. Take it up a notch. Like Jason took it up to like a dumb notch. Like it was just like, this was so silly.
But they took it up.
None of it makes sense. Like the mother didn't need to kill everybody. Like none of it made sense. This is a monocle, or my first monocle movie, and I can debate what you agree with, but like this is horrendous, terrible movie. And it could have been so well done.
And you know what? We didn't even talk about like the character of NG. But basically, I do have to touch upon this because there was a lot of controversy coming out when this film came out.
Yeah,
because
as there should be.
She keeps announcing that she's a quarter Hawaiian. And in the film, she's actually a quarter Hawaiian, a quarter Chinese, and half Swedish. And that's the way that she looks like that. But a lot of backlash for whitewashing this film.
Yeah.
And casting Emma Stone.
Look,
it's a bad casting choice. It's bad.
Yeah, but like bad script, bad character.
Do you want to represent Hawaii and you're going to cast Emma Stone in a Hawaiian?
But it was like jovially, like terribly constructed as well. Like her character, like if she were serious, opposed to being like this happy-go-lucky, like nothing is very serious, like type of manner, like maybe it would work better. But like she's almost like putting it to the people that actually had an issue with her being cast there to begin with and saying like fuck you, not her, but like the character.
Again, if they turned it up and just made it more satire and had that, I think it would work. But yeah, this is a terrible movie. It was between Aloha and Pearl Harbor, and I didn't want to sit through 3 hours of.
I didn't either until I realized it was 3 hours Pearl Harbor, and I was like, that also was a 20%. And I was like, haven't seen that. Is that Bradley Cooper as well?
No, it's Josh Hartnett.
Oh, okay, so I haven't seen that since it came out, 2004 or whatever.
You're not missing much. But yeah, this is basically a 1 glasses movie for me. I can't give it all the way down to a half glasses.
1?
Yeah, but it's
because Jason, you can't go half.
I think there's redeeming qualities in this film.
Yeah, but like you with the potential, it's kind of the similar way. Like going 3.5, like Alexander Payne, like the potential was there.
So you subtract even more.
Yeah, it falls
that makes sense.
Flat.
I'll be happy to sit with a half on this.
Yeah, let's do half.
Okay.
I love it. Yes, negativity. Yeah, opinions. I love it.
What do we got next on the docket?
I don't know. I'm not going to be here because I'm going to jump off this ledge in a second. So here's that. I think we have Oscar nominations, and so we have gone back and forth. What are we going to actually do?
We're doing a Nora and a Complete Unknown.
Okay, so the two of those movies, we'll figure out who's going to choose what. But
I think you wanted one for a while. I gave you one, and then you said no. And
so
then
you told me I was going to choose The Substance. I watched The Substance, and we're getting into it. I mean, I think we should save this for another week. But
okay.
We are debating on what we are going to do. But right now, we're not debating. We're going to go down to that lazy river, down to the pool, down to the hot tub, because my legs heating up this entire time. I feel like I'm
a little dehydrated too.
Yeah, you've been running for 6 days in a row. Yeah. Another high five. There we go.
Thanks.
Shaka Steve, bruh. Shaka Steve.
Till next week.